What are you guys talking about up here?
Where I'm talking about this podcast. I know the hosts. Welcome to You Do, a podcast where we explore everything queer, Asian, and identity and get into everything that you do. Oh shit, I fucked it up.
It was actually fine. It was more personable.
Why did you laugh? Because I said
Because you said identify.
identity. Okay, I'll do it again.
I'm your host, Vince Buendicho.
And I'm Matt Vo.
Also, thank you to everyone who's already listened to the last two podcasts. And if you haven't, please rate and follow us on YouDoPod. So that's YOUDOOPOD. Awesome. So, Matt, how do you do this week?
How do you do?
Wow.
Oh my gosh. So Valentine's Day just passed. So this episode we're gonna talk about Valentine's Day and our love languages and how we explore love
Yeah.
and queer love. But yeah, this week was really good. It was really good.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think there's just so much happening in pop culture. Like the Grammys happened last week.
Yes.
Can we talk about that for a bit? Like the
Yeah.
Grammys, just incredible
Did you watch it?
performances.
Did you watch the Grammys?
I didn't watch it live. I
Fake,
watched it like
fake
clips
fan.
here and there. Fake, I'm fake. But honestly, it was so fun. Like
Yeah.
maybe one of the best Grammys in a long
You
time.
think so? Really?
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why
mean,
I was so shocked I didn't even see
have
it, but
Billy, Cowboy Carter,
oh,
Chappell
controversial.
Roan. What?
The
Oh,
fact that Cowboy Carter won Album of the Year. But anyway,
Cardboard Carter.
Carter Carter.
I know. I mean, I think she deserved it. It's been her first like album of the year
Yeah,
since
ever.
ever.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
in her 25-year career, you know.
Yeah, it's insane. But like, I don't think personally, I don't think it should have won.
Ooh.
I think, yep, nope.
The
I feel
Beehive's
like
coming
there
for
were.
you.
I know, please don't. But I love the Beehive. I love Beyonce, but I think there were other albums that deserved a lot more recognition. And I don't know, for that album, like I listened to it. It was great. It was awesome. But it was like, oh my God, 27 tracks. And like nothing was somewhat memorable. There were a few songs, but like Renaissance was so much better, in my opinion.
Mm. Mm.
Like
That
I
one
could
should have
listen to
got
that
album of
album.
the
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Honestly, like the production, like we both saw
Huh.
we both saw her live and
Yeah.
we saw it on like in the movies.
I just can't believe she's going on tour again.
I know, I'm
Like,
here for it. I mean, like I sounded like such a hypocrite just then because I was just like, oh, it didn't deserve the Grammys, but I'm like, I will probably watch it and go
yeah.
to her concert. But it's fine. Like, I think there were other artists that deserved
Oh, for sure.
album of the
Yeah.
year, but I mean,
Yeah.
happy for her.
I wanted Brat to get album of the year just because it
Yeah,
was like a
right.
cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Chapel Roan.
No, it was really good. I think she should have got it, but at least she did get other Grammys, which was good.
Yeah, yeah.
But apart from that, yeah, I finished a book called A Little Life, which just broke my heart. I'm still recovering from it. It's about queer friendship, healing, just love and acceptance, and I honestly think about it a lot this week. And I also saw. Have you heard of The Last Showgirl?
No, I haven't.
Pamela Anderson is the lead in it. It's
Is
literally
that
about the
you?
last showgirl, yeah, in
Okay.
Vegas, and oh, it was just amazing. I walked away, and Pamela Anderson, I love that she's getting back in the limelight, and
Yeah.
like she's really owning her story, and it's very admirable.
Yeah.
It's very admirable. But apart from that, it was yeah. I think this week was pretty good. How do you do this week? How about you?
This week for me was so much better than the last 2 weeks. I don't know what happened. I think like the sun was shining. I mean, now it's kind of pretty gross outside. It's like super cloudy. But I don't know. I thought I was gonna dread the week leading up to like Valentine's Day, just because of like what has just had just happened. But I
Mm.
think like the activities that we did and the stuff that I did, I was like, oh my god, like there's so much love out there that is just outside of the conditioned love that we think is would make us feel good, which is like from a partner or from whatever. But no, you can recognize love from like a friend, from like a coworker, from like anyone that you interact with. Like I think at least if you see it in that perspective, then like you will forever be loved. And I
Yeah.
think it doesn't matter if that comes from like, yeah, from a partner. And of course that's a different kind of love. But like I think especially this week, I think I was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna embrace the love that I'm gonna be receiving and I'm gonna be giving out, because I think I just love love. Like it's one of those things
Mhm.
that I'm just like love for everyone, and I'm just like, if I can, I will just hug everyone. But it seems like no one wants to hug me here, which is totally fine.
You hear that, Vancouver?
Yeah,
Go hug Vince.
go hug me. I'm under this kind of like assumption that
Mm.
everyone that I interact with is immediately gonna be like my best friend, and I have to kind of get out of that
I love that
mentality.
about you, though.
Yeah,
I think that's you open your heart to people and
and they
and
crush it. I'm kidding. No.
and they No, I think that's one of the more beautiful parts of you, just like you're just so open and friendly to people, and I think naturally people gravitate towards that sort of
Yeah.
energy. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful part of you.
Thank you. Though I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's something that I need to manage though, just because I know that it would come across as I think maybe someone that would be taken advantage of, but I just need to kind of set boundaries. I think that's the thing I'm learning now, is that I need to start setting boundaries, and I can't just expect that like people are just going to respect it. I actually have to say what those are, and just stop assuming that people know what they are. Just because
Mm,
there are people that are just so open, it just seems like, oh, let's see how far we can push them to see how much they can give, because we'll just keep giving and giving until like there's nothing left. But I think it's now I'm just realizing, I was like, no, I need to actually like sometimes put those healthy boundaries, not with just everyone, but just like with friends, and especially like your partner or like your like close friend or relationships. It's just like it's
right.
very important.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but love is around. What did you end up doing for Valentine's Day? Oh my god, what was that?
I I love that you put Valentine's Day in such a beautiful,
Mm,
um, kind of the concept of Valentine's Day for me. I think I the commercialization of
yeah,
Valentine's
the
Day, I feel
consumerism
like
of
it
it.
ruins it,
It's
but
yeah, yeah.
it ruins the idea of it. I think the original idea of Valentine's Day, like for you, you just said that Valentine's Day is about receiving, giving love to like whoever it is. I love flowers. I love, all the gifts part,
Yeah,
like gift side of things too. But
it
it
takes a
felt
lot
like
of
a lot of pressure for people to like
right,
ask
yeah,
if you want to be that people's
yeah,
Valentines. But honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I was dreading just
mm,
Valentine's Day this week. I did end up going out with some
yeah,
friends and just like it was just so fun. Like we just did
yeah.
karaoke and had some drinks and had a bit of a dance and stayed up like till 2 a.m. It was just such a fun night.
2 a.m. Oh my gosh, when
Because
was
all
that
the clubs
last?
in LA close
Jesus.
at 2.
True. Oh my
I
god.
hate that. I hate that about LA.
Do you think the nightlife in LA is like slowing down,
No, it's just
or
I hate that everything closes at 2. Like
as opposed to what was it before, like 5, or it's 24 hours?
well, like 5 o'clock or like sunrise. Everywhere else in the world, I feel like it.
Really?
Right?
No.
What time does it close in Vancouver?
Oh my god, like 12? No, that's a lie. I
No.
oh my god, I can't remember the last time I went out. No, actually, that's a lie. When I went out here that one time, um, it was like, yeah, around like 12 or 1 a.m.
No
Wait, no,
way.
I am lying. We left because we were hungry. At 1.
Like back home, back in Brisbane, I feel like it closes at 5, doesn't it?
No, there's lockout laws now at 3 a.m.
Because like there's been times where we've gone out really late and then
Yeah, but that
we've
was like
taken
uni
the
days.
first train home.
Oh my god.
But so that was like that was sunrise. That was like
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that
but that
not?
was like years ago. Like now there's more, responsible drinking, and like I don't know. I have to be honest, I haven't gone out in a very long time, so All
Right.
I remember last time is that like lockout laws are like at 3 a.m. or something, and then they it's so funny because they turn the lights on and everyone's like, "Ah!"
Don't look at me.
It's like, oh my
Don't look at
it's the
me.
funniest thing, and you can just see everyone just like are just like zombies trying to exit and like covering their eyes. What a way to
I
spend
know.
Valentine's Day.
I know. I know. It was really fun though.
Yeah. Do you
What did you
talk
end
to
up doing?
anyone?
Oh gosh, no, no. I was just there for my
No?
friends. My friends honestly have more game than I do,
Were you
and I need
drinking?
to was I drinking?
Were you like, like loosened up or whatever? You're like,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah. Oh,
everyone."
yeah.
Okay. Does that give you any kind of like liquid courage to just be like, "Hey,
I
boys."
come for me. No, no, no. I don't need liquid courage, I'm good.
Oh, alright. We love a confident queen. Okay. Just you in the corner like, "Mhm, mhm."
No, it was really fun.
Have
I
you
just
ever approached the guy in the I was about to say the gym, like,
Of
going out?
course,
You have? Oh, do
right?
tell. What do you
No,
mean?
I just remember my oh gosh, we're going back a long
Yeah.
time ago, but there's a club. I feel like the first club I ever went to was some club in the Gold Coast, maybe it's called Flamingo or something,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I did ask a guy, like, if I could buy him a drink, and he said, like,
Ooh.
"Yeah." Like, "Of course." And then so I did get him a drink, and then he walked away with it. I was like, "Oh, okay." This is like
Oh my
eighteen-year-old
god.
me, just
Oh.
it was yeah. That
Yeah,
was
okay.
that's the story of it, but, I'm learning now.
Yeah.
I think when we go out, like, you just meet people, have conversations, like,
Yeah.
we hang out around the pool table and just, like, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
What did you end up doing for Valentine's Day?
So for Valentine's Day, I ended up doing a Galentine's Day. It was something that initially was just gonna be the three of us, like three of my friends. We're gonna just go to like a tasting menu and just have a wine pairing and all that like fancy ass shit. Um,
Mhm.
but then I was like, no, I think it would be a lot nicer and a lot more intimate if I ended up cooking for everyone, which was I always love to do. I always love cooking for people, and I come from a big family, so it's always a feast. Um, so I ended up like organizing the event. There was like six of us, just six of us gals drinking wine and
Yeah.
drinking, oh, and eating beef bourguignon. And I made like
You made beef
Basque cheese.
bourguignon?
I did.
Oh
It
my
was yeah,
gosh,
it was so much fun.
delicious.
Yeah, and then I also made Basque cheesecake, which was oh my god. I don't think I can ever go back to eating regular cheesecake after eating a Basque cheesecake.
Y
I
Can you explain what that is?
so Basque cheesecake originated from Spain, from the region
Uh-huh.
of Basque. It's essentially a burnt cheesecake, um, but it doesn't have a base, so it's a lot more like creamier, and I feel like there's more like body to it, and it's
Wait, so
just
there's
like
no base to it? No,
no, it's
like,
literally yeah,
crumble?
no
Mm.
crumble. It's literally just full on like the cheesecake filling, but the difference with it is it you add flour and cornstarch. Oh my god, welcome to my cooking show. um, and then it becomes like a bit more of like not the consistency of a cake, but it has more body to it. I
Right.
don't know. I just find it's a lot more like savory and like I love savory desserts. It's my jam.
Mm,
But yeah, and then we just end up like drinking wine, eating cheese, and it was actually really awesome. Like again, going back to the whole receiving and giving love, I felt like it was such like a lovely night for us that
yeah,
it was definitely needed for us single gals.
yeah.
um,
It's funny because like, when people go out on Valentine's Day, like, I think people are looking for someone or,
yeah,
like, I don't know, I think it's a little
look within yourself.
look what I know. No.
But going back to you buying a drink for someone, what do you think? How has your experience been dating in Brisbane to
Yeah.
LA to wherever you end up going?
Yeah.
Like down under to North America.
I never well, yes, I did date back home. When we went to I wish we, like, had more opportunities to date during uni, just
Yeah,
because I think we were so focused on school and
yeah,
trying to just survive, like,
Yeah, who had time for
survive
dating?
that. Exactly. So then we never really I feel like we never really opened our hearts up to dating in
Yeah.
during uni, and, going out of uni, it's like meeting people online as well, and oh my gosh, I have crazy experiences back home, just I was dating a guy that, like, pretended to be a doctor, and,
I haven't heard this story. Sorry, go on.
wait, really?
I have not heard this story. You said you were gonna tell it to me, but you're like, "Oh my
Oh
god,
my
another
gosh.
time." I think this is the time.
Okay, this is the time. So, I went on a date with this guy, this was maybe in 2015 or something.
Right.
Went on a date with this guy, and I think it was, like, our 2nd or 3rd date. He was like, "Oh, I have to, drop something off at work," which is his hospital, like, ward, right? So
Mm.
I kind of just I followed him, and he went into the ward, and he had a badge, a hospital,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
ID badge.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
he walked in, and somehow, he dropped the stuff off. He and then him and I went on our date,
Mhm.
and maybe the 4th date, I was like, "Oh, I'm not really feeling it, like, I wish you good luck." I was just wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling it,
Yeah.
and then maybe a month later, I saw a news article that he, like, pretended he actually had to go to court because he didn't get arrested, but he got caught for trespassing, like,
Holy
a
shit.
a hospital
Yeah.
office
And
just to
you were
prove
complicit?
I didn't know. He used that to impress guys he went on dates with. So I was like, "Fuck this. I am moving to LA." No, I'm kidding.
That's it, that's why.
That's it. But
That's exactly why.
my stomach dropped when
Oh
I
my
found
god.
out that
Yeah.
he got caught and he went
That's
to
so dangerous.
oh, I know. The
Um,
desperation.
uh,
Come on.
Sorry. Wait, I thought you meant about yourself. I was like, "Wait, no."
Oh, no. Oh gosh. But when I moved to LA, I really felt like I had a gay awakening. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's like the mecca of the gays.
Yeah. There's
Where
just I
everyone
think it's like
goes.
a problem too because there's
Yeah.
just so many gays. It's like so many fish
You
in
hear
the
that,
sea.
everyone? There's too many gays in LA.
Yeah, because like when you go home, I think you grasp towards
Yeah.
a
Well, I
group,
guess
but then
what's yeah.
but I like that there's a lot of diversity here
Yeah.
compared to back home. I don't now it's different, but
Yeah.
back then I just feel like there wasn't too many POCs
Yeah,
in
definitely.
Brisbane. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your experience like in Vancouver?
In terms of dating, well, I mean, dating in general, I feel like in Brisbane, like you said, I'll get onto Vancouver, but I'll just
Yeah.
go back to Brisbane for a second. I think, yeah, we didn't really have time. And I think for me, especially, I was still going through some things.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like, had time, rather, had the mental space to be like dating if I was still trying to figure myself out.
You had
Um,
your gay awakening in Brisbane.
well, I guess, yeah, you can call it that. It was, yeah, it was. Okay. um, so I helped Matt with this production design, uh,
We were
set
like building
design.
a set, yeah,
Yeah, we were building a set for, I don't even know what show
for
it is called,
I think it's called Stop
for
Kiss.
theater.
Stop
And
Kiss, yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. And then I just tagged along because it was uni break, so I was like, sure, why not? I'm not doing anything. Like I would be studying if I wasn't. Um, and then there was a guy there that I didn't really think too much of it, but I think I was just making. I said a joke. I made a reference to like RuPaul's Drag Race, and I think at the time it wasn't. No one really knew about it, or it wasn't that popular. That the references were kind of niche, and he caught on, and I think that was more of just like him realizing is like, oh, another one,
Yeah.
a gay. So
I mean, it's
and
theater.
it is true, but I mean, I was again, I wouldn't say I was sheltered, but like I up until that point, I've only known like two other gay people, and I don't think I was out to myself either at the time. And I think it was some intervention where it was just like, oh no, this is who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Anyway, he asked me out, and I was like, what? What is happening? And so I went on a date, and it was probably one of the best first dates I've had And I think you were kind of like mad at me for not telling you that I was that I
I
had
was definitely mad.
yeah.
I think I had used all my energy like defending you because so many
You're like that guy. It's
people,
like he's not gay.
he's not gay. Like people ask me, I'm like, no, he's not. He told me he wasn't. And
He only
so
has those orange beats for fashion.
exactly. And so like, oh my gosh. And so I think when you did come out, I was just like,
Do you remember when I came out? We went out for my birthday to some crab house underneath
yeah.
Story Bridge with another friend, Claire. And then I said I was going on a date that the following weekend with this guy, and you were there like, really?
With the guy.
Okay,
I think
fine.
I was maybe like
You were definitely
mad.
shocked.
I was
Yeah,
like mad and jealous.
yes. Oh, and then the other thing that's kind of a core memory for mine is when we were waiting for a train and you were giving me a gift, which I think is also the inception of my skincare routine because you gave me like a set from Natio. It was
Uh-huh.
like a cleanser, it was like um, a toner and all that like
Yeah,
jazz, and it
yeah.
was like a really thoughtful gift. Anyway, as you were giving it to me, you were like, you went silent for a second, and you were like, "How come you didn't tell me you were gay?"
Oh my gosh. I don't
And then
remember this.
I do because I was just like, it was the beginning of my skincare routine, and also you like kind of yeah that
Yeah, I think
entire
maybe it was
interaction.
also like why didn't you feel comfortable enough
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk to me about like this part of you? And then me finding out that you were going on a date with a guy, I was like,
yeah,
"Well, excuse me?"
yeah. I mean, no, honestly, like it. I don't know what came over me. I was kind of just like, yeah, I just feel like I couldn't say no. I feel like this is something that made sense for me to say yes to, and that I had to see and explore it.
Mm,
It was one of those moments where you're like a life changing moment where you just know, like, this feels naturally right for me to go on this date and explore what this is because I feel like I've been holding myself back this entire time,
right.
and now is the time that like the floodgates are open.
Yeah.
That sounds so gross.
I
um,
mean, can we talk about like the concept of dating? Like
yeah,
how do you perceive the concept of dating? I think in that situation it was more natural because we're working towards something at the set, like building the set. And so that interaction is much easier, right?
yeah,
To kind of spark something and
yeah,
go on a date. But then the idea of like I mean personally, I think it's so much pressure maybe like when we go to a dinner or get drinks, I think
right,
the
yeah,
idea of like sitting down talking to someone, I think it's too much pressure for me.
yeah.
And I don't know. I think I do better like doing something rather than
No, yeah,
sitting across from each
of
other
course.
talking
I
about.
think no. I heard a on another podcast. I can't remember what it was, but a lady was mentioning how bizarre it was that when we do go on dates, it's always like a one-on-one interview. It's always just like we're taking both of ourselves out of context to meet each other and introduce our lives and gain like points, like a point system of being like, yep,
Mm,
this person does that, this person does this, as opposed to like exactly what you said, bringing them to like your life by I don't know, like going to a yoga shop, going to like your day-to-day activities, even though they're so mundane,
yeah.
like grocery shopping or like walking in the park or like things that you love doing. It's like far more better than just sitting there and being like trying to do a checkbox
Right.
list of like, do they have a job? Do they have this? It's like
Right. Right.
it's always about like comparing notes, and it's just like instead of introducing them
Yeah.
to your life naturally, it's like, and again, dating, using the apps and all that stuff already kind of predetermines
We
the
have a
conversations that yeah,
preconception of the person because of
already
their
yeah,
profile. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a 50-50, right? Because like sometimes for your own security, like you want to know that the person is safe to be around with. And if you don't do your background check, it's like, well, like exactly what happened to you. The guy literally trespassed. How the hell did he get a key card to
I
begin
have
with? I
no
don't know.
idea.
But yeah, there's benefits, there's pros and cons to both. And I think, yeah, with the guy that asked me out, I felt I was like, my God, this has never happened before. Like I need to see it through kind of thing. I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't eventuate into anything, but the experience of it was kind of just like it's possible
Yeah.
to have those
Yeah.
interactions.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. I think, like, can I ask what you think, like, what's the best date you've ever been on?
Oh my god, my ideal first date. Wait, ideal first date or best date I've ever been
Best
on?
date you've been on.
Oh gosh, it was probably with him. Um,
Okay. What did you guys
but-
do?
so he picked me up in a convertible. I'm kidding. No, he didn't. I went. We
Sent a
met.
car.
Sent a car. Had a chauffeur. Um, we met up at this place called the Barrows in West End. It was a really cute. It still is. It's like cute bar during the night, and then it's like a nice restaurant in the morning or
Mhm.
brunch place. So we had brunch there, and we kind of in the afternoon, and I had the full. I wanted to go the whole traditional way of like, let's go to an art gallery, let's like have freaking coffee, and he
Yeah.
was like, no, I like want to get to know you, and I mean, yeah, I was like, okay, um, go to the bar instead, and then you know, I was a bit nervous because it's like the first time I've ever been on an actual date.
Mhm.
I've been on a date with a girl before, but it was kind of
What?
yeah, I have.
Oh my god, I've never known this.
What? Really? Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
god.
I don't think she knew it was a date until
Until you try to go in for a
no,
kiss.
until well, it's funny because like I invited her out um to go watch a movie. But then she was like, "Oh, is anyone else coming?" I was like, "No, it's just us." And she didn't think too much of it.
Oh my god.
until, until like the train ride home where I was like, "I think I like you." And he's like, "Oh, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't feel the same." And I'm like, "Cool."
I'm gay now.
Yeah, you're like, "Thanks to you." Um,
She knew you were.
she freaking clocked it. She was like, I don't know. Um,
This kid's going through
I don't know.
something.
This one's a bit spicy. um, but no, going back to the best first date. Yeah, he went on that like brunch, and then we walked around for a long time. He took me to
Mhm.
this bar in to meet up with his friends. It's like a
Yeah,
hole in
yeah,
the
yeah.
wall. We've been there a few times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Took me there and met up with his friends who are also they're like a lesbian couple, and it was the first time I've been around like
Queer
queer
people.
people, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, you guys exist.
Yeah, yeah.
And then yeah, just like had the best time, and then like we were drunk at this point, and he told me of another bar next to his house.
So
Lol,
you did
plot
kind of
twist.
like a bar crawl.
Yeah, and then just got to
That's
know him
fun.
as we like instead of just sitting down in one place and like
Yeah, yeah.
getting like a bit bored with the conversation, you're doing things and
You're
you're
right.
like, you're stimulated elsewhere as opposed to just even though your sole purpose is to get to know each other, you're still interacting with the world. And
Yeah.
then I remember being so drunk at this point that our focus was just with each other, and then we were like running around like idiots like across town, and then like he was giving me a piggyback ride, and then like we got to this bar, and then we ended up playing like a board game at 3 in the morning with some total strangers, and it was just like it started from like 1 p.m. and ended up I
Wow.
stayed over at his place. But
Oop.
yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It was like
Mm.
a
Moving
well-rounded.
around helps a lot.
It
Moving
really
and
was.
yeah, doing activities helps a lot
Yeah,
because
but yeah,
it lets people's guards down.
exactly. There's less
Yeah.
pressure to be like, let's focus on you. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
there's time and place for both, obviously. But yeah, that was definitely one of the best first dates. What about yourself? What's your ideal first date slash best first date ever?
I mean, I like doing stuff.
Oh,
Like, oh, not in that way. But my best date I've ever been on, I would say, like, um, him and I got dinner, and then, like, there was a jazz jazz band that was playing outdoor, like, music outdoors in this
yeah,
plaza, and people were just dancing, and so we after dinner, we just joined, like, the group, and it was just, like, such a fun night because we would dance with people and meet other people, and
yeah,
um yeah, I think having music and just it's just very lively, and it was like a really nice like summer night, and that was probably one of the best dates
Mm.
I've been on. Ideally, the first date, I think I love going to museums or galleries and just like
I'm
what?
sorry.
And just like talking. I mean,
Yeah.
or like going, I feel like going bowling would be fun.
Ooh, yeah.
I just think sitting across from each other at a dinner or something is like too much.
I think on a second date, like definitely a bit more intimate, like setting, like restaurant style. And then the first
Right.
date, I think, yeah, like get to know a person a different way than just let's keep eating.
First honestly,
Um,
first dates are, like, such a throwaway to me, personally.
yeah,
I think I try to give people more than one chance.
of course.
People know
Yeah.
after the first 5 minutes, but for me, I'm like, I personally take time. I feel a little bit guarded,
Hmm.
and I asked you this week
Yes.
if
Yeah.
I feel guarded. It takes me some time to, like, warm up to people, and
Yeah.
so, personally, I think the first date is, like, just to you meet them just to know that they're not crazy. But then the second and third date is really kind of when you get to know each other
Exactly.
more.
And on going from that, how you would love to receive love, can we talk a bit about our love
Love,
languages
yeah,
and like what each of our love languages are?
right. Because there's 5 of them.
There's
There's
five. Yeah.
words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service, quality time, and gifts.
Other one. Gifts. Oh, I keep forgetting about gifts because I
Yeah.
couldn't
It's
care less for it.
it's like number 5 for me. Like, we do these love language tests, right?
Mm.
And I think I did it twice in one sitting, and it came
Different?
out both physical touch. Like,
Oh. Is this recent?
no, it was maybe like 2 years ago.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
physical touch, I would say number 1.
Yeah.
Um, acts of service, number 2. Words of affirmation is probably number 4. I think
Three.
actually, yeah, 3 is quality time. I was trying to think
Okay.
what my third one was gonna be. But quality time, yeah, is my third.
Yeah.
I wonder why I physical touch is my love language. I'm thinking like as a kid, parents don't really show physical
No.
love that much to
Affection.
you,
No.
affection. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like Asian parents, well, my parents are more acts of service.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, they would never say like I love you really. I
Yeah.
think it's the way that they show it
Yes.
in cooking, in just daily life, um, and just their work ethic, I think, and how much they care for us. I think it shows in the things that they do. So generally, I crave physical touch because
Hmm.
I hadn't had that. What about you? What's your love languages?
So I did a similar exercise to you where I did it like twice and just to kind of like just to debunk if the first one is true.
Yeah.
But I drew Gemini that I am. It came out equal as quality time and acts of service, and then physical touch, words of affirmation, and then gifts. But I
Mm.
think recently, I think it's definitely changed to physical touch and um, quality time, and then words of affirmation, but not in a way that it's like you need to validate me. You need to tell me how good looking I am, or any. No, it's not any of that. I think I've gotten to a point where words sometimes I don't really trust words that much anymore.
Mm. Yeah.
Just because, you know, mean what you say and say what you mean, kind of thing. Like, if you're gonna tell me one thing, like commit to it. Don't do the opposite of exactly what you just said.
Right.
Because unless I have physical proof of what you just said that you're gonna do, I'm gonna be like, until I have receipts, or not receipts, it's a toxic way of thinking, but until I have like something that I'm like, yep, no, this is it. This is exactly what I asked for. I'm not gonna believe you until it's in front of me.
The way that we receive words of affirmation, uh, I think it can play a it can play a really good role in our lives.
Yeah.
But personally, it's like we kind of tell ourselves
Yeah.
what we've. I think we're both very confident people too, and
Hmm.
hearing it from someone. I think actually career wise, words of
Yeah.
affirmation is kind of the way I.
Yeah.
It's so bad, but like career wise, I will take compliments. I will take
Oh,
affirmation from
100%.
people. That's
I'd be like,
like, oh,
"Yes, I am
please.
that bitch."
Yeah, yeah. But in love life, I think physical touch and acts of service. How do you think you give love?
Definitely acts of service
Okay,
and
so it's how
quality
you
time.
receive. You
Yeah,
receive and you give.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. Like I mentioned before, I love cooking for people. I love making sure that they're, accommodated, that they're like everything is taken care of for them.
Mm,
Like that's just how I operate as a person, and it can be a bit like taxing, but I feed off of it. I feed off of like, when people tell you like, "Oh, thank you so much for all this," like I freaking thrive. I am like, it's fine. Like I'm losing a limb. I'm like, I'm fine. Like I'm good. It's a bit dramatic, but it's like I don't know. There's just something about for me anyway. Like even though it's kind of like selfish, like fulfilling um that I've helped someone or that I've made someone's day so much better than what it was before. I just think that like everyone is going through their own journey, and if I can be a bit of like light in their life, then like that's like that means so much to me. So I'm just like I'm just gonna keep doing that, and it's gonna keep, and it just makes me feel good. At
I
the end
think
of
it's
the day,
like
I'm
the
just like,
Asian. It's the Asian in us too. Like,
yeah,
like that we show our love by giving.
yeah,
You know, like showing the way that we give love
yeah.
to our friends and family. Like we just
Yeah.
do things for them.
Exactly.
Um,
You're a testament to that actually. Like you are so restless when we're like literally telling you to relax after you've driven us for like 8 hours, you're still wanting to help. I'm like, Matt, like literally just sit down, but you're so like, no, I need to help. I'm like, no, just like freaking relax. Just sit down and then like dinner will be ready. I'm talking about when we went to Yosemite. Sorry,
oh,
Yosemite.
yes, I
uh,
might.
and you literally had driven from like LA to Yosemite. I don't know how long that was, like 6, 7 hours,
Yeah,
and you still offered to like help with dinner. I'm like, no, our agreement is to like for Sarisha and I to cook, and you just gallivant or do whatever you want until dinner's ready. But you were so stubborn that like
yeah.
you
I am
just
stubborn.
inserted yourself in a tiny ass kitchen, and we're just like, how's
Trying to. I'm
can
just
you
like trying to cut.
pass the
I'm gonna
garlic?
cut an onion. Just gonna help.
When I love it, obviously, because like and I understand where you're probably like coming from, because you want to be in the scene, in the moment of like being a part of that experience. I get it,
Yeah.
but you also need to like learn how to relax and receive love, right?
Oh my
Because you
gosh.
give it so much that you need to understand to like take a step back and just like enjoy the present of receiving love, because I
I
don't think
think
you
I do
do.
struggle with that.
Yeah.
I do struggle with receiving love. I think because
Yeah.
I don't really I don't know how to I don't know what it looks like. I think
Mm,
I try to give love because it's just the way that I don't want to feel like a burden to people
right.
a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And so doing things, it helps me feel like I'm contributing something
Yeah.
rather than being a burden to someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm learning to like identify ways that people show up for me
Mm,
or show their love for me.
yeah.
I think that also plays a part in like dating.
Mm,
Personally, I just
yeah.
don't know. I feel guarded when I do go on dates because it's just strangers. This is like like I'm meeting a stranger, right?
Yeah.
It's all in the process of growing
Yeah.
and
Of course.
getting to know ourselves.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say one thing. I don't think you should ever feel like you're a burden. And if anything, if that person makes you feel like you're a burden to them after everything that you've done, they're not your person. They're also not your friend.
Yeah.
Like you can just cut them off. Like I understand where this kind of, I guess, this idea of you feeling like a burden, it stems from just this Asian mentality of like always needing to constantly just be better to support your family, support like whoever, because like um, it in a community kind of setting, like which is a lot of Asian household, like if you're not performing as well as the rest of your family, it's like yeah, like
Mm.
you will get left behind and you're not contributing to the family. But like think you know deep down that like There's so much
Mm.
love around you that you just need to kind of open your eyes a bit.
Oh my
Open
god.
your eyes.
Yeah. I'm
Wear
getting a
your
little
glasses. Get LASIK.
emotional because, like, I think as an only child, I think that I've had to grow up. Oh god, I'm getting really emotional. I had to grow up like quite young.
Yeah.
Um and so I feel like I had to like do a lot of things on my own.
Yeah.
Um so I think n- not feeling like a burden. Oh,
Okay.
not feeling like a burden to people like is a hard thing for me.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
you
But
know,
your parents.
I have a lot of people that love me a
Yeah.
lot. And I know that. I think
Mm.
it's just yeah, just only child syndrome maybe and having to do things on our own a lot, but I'm so grateful for my support group.
Yeah.
Wow. Did not expect that, but should we talk about you do or you don't?
Yeah. Do you want to? Do you want to explain a little bit about it?
Yeah.
A little bit
So
about it.
a little bit about it. You do or you don't. We pick one thing that we is debatable in
Mhm.
society, and
It's
we
pretty-
kind of chat about it. So
Yeah.
what's this week's? This is Vince's.
s- Well,
You do or you
not
don't
really. Yeah. So my you do or you don't. You do or you don't pay on the first date. Do you want to go first?
for guys or girls.
I mean, all sexes, all genders, everyone in between. Just like
Okay.
you do or you don't. For you, do you pay or do you don't on the
I so for like gay gay dates or same sex dates, right?
yeah.
I think I think the person who invites
Mm,
or asks you to go out on the date is the one that picks up the check. In hetero relationships, I mean, usually the guys do, but I think
yeah.
it's in if the girl doesn't offer, I think that's a little bit of like a
Red
an
flag.
ick. Well, yeah,
yeah.
I think it's a turn off, honestly,
Yeah.
if that person doesn't offer. What
Yeah.
about you? What do you think? Is it so it's a oh wow. So it's like it's a you do. I would say it's a you do.
Yeah, I agree with what you said about if you were the person that invited them out, then yes, you should definitely pay for the check. I, for some reason, if there's no like, um, cute little exchange of like, no, no, I'll pay for it. No, you pay
Yeah.
for it. Like, I kind of get a bit like, oh, like, all right, I guess we'll just either split it or I'll pay, whatever. Um, but I don't know. I don't know where really that stems from, but I'm just like, it's just like a fun, cute way of
You wanna be
flirting, right?
wined and dined.
Okay, maybe that's it. Okay, you called me out. Okay, fine.
You're yeah, you wanna be wined and dined. But do you
Yeah,
pick up the check?
yeah. I pick up the check. Like it's always there's a I don't know if it's a thing, but the waiters determine who actually picks up, or who actually like pays
Oh my
for
god.
the dinner or whatever, because they place it literally in front of the person that they think is gonna pay. So
So it's kind of like preset.
yeah, because unless I think now, I don't know if it's common now to just put it in the middle and then watch them fight,
Yeah,
or I've noticed that like in some instances, like they would put it up in front of the person that they expect to pay,
yeah.
um, and that's usually the person that has, I guess, like this bravado or presence, right? Or the person
Interesting.
that's either organized the event, or person that's more talkative to the waitress or waiter, is usually the person that they think is going to pay because they're like a bit more boisterous and a bit more like confident. But yeah, I've noticed that it's actually,
We should ask the waiters how they think how
yeah,
they choose, you know?
yeah. I actually, yeah, to anyone who is a waiter or waitress, like, how do you
Yeah,
determine who pays?
yeah.
What
So
kind
it's a
of
you
like
do. You
you
do
say you
pick up
do?
the check. Dating is so expensive.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going on dates anytime soon, but I'm. Ugh. I'll date myself.
Yeah, let's date ourselves first. Thank you so much for tuning in to our third episode. Please follow
Yeah.
us on YouTube. Please like and rate our episodes. It'll mean so much to us. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Bye.